Week 16, last lecture. When astronauts first went to the moon and took the famous photograph of our fragile Earth from space, it was suggested that a sudden and enormous consciousness shift happened in the human race, helping to birth the modern environmental movement. In Butterflies Are Free, Stephen Davis suggests that quantum mechanics and the new physics are redefining how we approach reality and how our consciousness affects it. He suggests that movies like The Matrix and The 13th Floor and the Star Trek holodeck are the product of a gradually dawning awareness among the public that we may be living in a holographic universe that is more like an immersive interactive video game than any of the previous models of reality philosophers and scientists have come up with. As you play God by creating your sustainable virtual realities using today's tools, how does that affect your thinking about environmental and social change in general? Does collaborative world creation inside VR change the way you think about how to go about change in the outside world? This is Module 4.4, Playing God, Week 16, Thinking Out Loudest, Lecture 4.4. Playing the Superman, playing with the future, opening your vision of sustainability to the world. There is no question that designing future worlds is a kind of Gottesspiel, playing God in German. When thinking out loudest, manifesting our visions of the future in real, tangible ways that can affect other people and other beings' well-being, we must observe the adage, with great power comes great responsibility, from Spider-Man. This lecture helps students work through the implications and ramifications of that power so that they can plan responsibly, so that you can plan responsibly. This lecture is based on a paper written by Dr. Seneshat Sige, the former director of the Patel Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation Concentration, and myself and faculty from Florida Gulf Coast University. It is in relation to the Viper Lab for visualization that they have at Florida Gulf Coast and our new Envisioning program here at Patel. Given the state of the world today and the urgent need to maintain water and food security and combat poverty in the face of population growth and global warming, we need to use today's technology in the right way to prepare engineering and sustainability students for the transition. There is a greater level of interest in the impact of the new tools on preparing the next generation of engineers, champions of change. As part of this enhanced learning, virtual worlds or virtual three-dimensional environments are available for education. See Kelton 2008. The timing couldn't be better. Students today are what futurist and former Disney Imagineer Joe Tankersley calls digital natives, unencumbered by our analog history, who are trading in their jobs for personalized careers built around their passions, as dreamers who gleefully share their experiments and invite others to co-create with them, refusing to believe in our economics of scarcity and instead creating a world of abundance, sustainability, and equity." End quote. Tankersley, who's working on the Envisioning Sustainability course curriculum with us at the Patel College of Global Sustainability, suggests that such digital natives, that's you, will not wait for permission to empower themselves, yourselves, and in so doing will empower everyone. He says that on page 9 of his book in 2018, Reimagining Tomorrow. With Forbes reporting that more than half of brick-and-mortar colleges may be forced to close their doors in the next decade as online resources become more prevalent and the digital natives become increasingly skeptical of the need to pay for encounters with live humans who merely direct their attention to digital resources available outside of school classrooms, that's Horn 2018, current models for engineering education need an overhaul. Tankersley, who oversaw teams implementing VR at Disney, remarks that younger generations, quote, move easily between worlds, end quote, and because, quote, knowledge, whether technical or professional, goes out of date at an alarming rate, digital platforms that connect professors directly to learners, created by educators who are eagerly developing methods to meet the needs of learners on their terms, will be the most successful forms of education as the changing job market forces workers to, quote, take more and more responsibility for their own success and empowers them to chart their own futures. That's page 74 of Tankersley. It's the ability of virtual and augmented reality platforms to blend realities together and, most importantly, customize them to the specific needs and locations of the learner that make them so powerful and necessary if institutional engineering education is to remain relevant. Why virtual reality for education? According to Seneschal Tsige, virtual reality, or VR, is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. And unlike traditional user interfaces, VR places the user inside an alternative virtual world. Instead of viewing a screen in front of them, users are immersed and enabled to interact with 3D worlds. VR is dependent on graphics and complex computers that display and coordinate virtual environments, according to Ahalabi 2016. And interactions with these environments requires the use of tools such as gloves, joysticks, mice, special glasses, or head-mounted displays, HMDs, that detect user movements with sensors. Computers are then able to compute and react to the movements by changing scenes. Now, the appeal of VR lies in the ability to create environments that may be too dangerous, costly, time-consuming, or complex to be experienced in reality. And consequently, virtual reality has a large potential in the educational field. Engineering students are able to use VR to examine the consequences of their actions and decisions and practice experiments as often as they would like. This helps to experiment several scenarios and reduce the likelihood of design mistakes. Such educational utility can improve students' performance and capabilities in various fields." End quote. In today's world, engineering students are also expecting institutions to provide them with the appropriate modern industry technologies to prepare them for their respective fields. VR sees use in military training, medical training, applied research, commercial applications, and automotive and aerospace design, according to Abelrub et al. 2011. 3D visualization products provide an indispensable method for showcasing projects and designs and enables engineers to visually experience design ideas and alternatives. 3D virtual reality provides engineers with state-of-the-art technology that will see major use in the current industry. Allowing engineers to experience VR will subsequently strengthen the quality of the industry by adding value, reducing product development time, as well as the product's time to market. In particular, VR is proving vital in the new technology and solutions to the global challenges that we have, where a 3D visualization can be built virtually. In this manner, virtual environments can be reviewed and used to make decisions without the need of a real physical prototype. This reduces development time, costs, and improves product quality. Now, using virtual reality as a tool to educate within the field of engineering is not a new concept. In 1995, Pentelidis proposed the use of VR as a teaching aid, detailing the types of VR available at the time, reasons to use it as an educational engineering tool, and when to use it. Many of Pantelidis' 1995 suggestions apply in the present age just as well as, if not better than, they did decades ago. The question is, are these tools accessible to you here at Patel? And the answer is yes. We have it. And VR enhances teaching various engineering concepts by encouraging your active participation during the learning process, which is of particular importance when dealing with fields as complex as sustainability engineering in the age of climate change. Since 1995, there have been experiments to test the effectiveness of VR-assisted engineering education, and one such experiment involved teaching pre-university students basic civil engineering concepts using VR. This is according to Dinnis 2017. Furthermore, it gave learners the opportunity to progress through material at a rate that you are comfortable with, according to Pentelidis 1995. Beyond showing the advantages to using VR in an engineering education, Pentelidis in 1995 offered situations in which VR's strengths really shine. Due to the artificial nature of VR, it allows learners to safely experiment with otherwise hazardous situations, making it ideal for training that involves dangerous environments. It presents learners with the ability to explore situations beyond physical reality, things that can only exist inside of a simulation. Pantelidis in 2015 went on to mention that VR simulations can be far more forgiving than reality when the mistakes that the learner could make have substantial consequences. Tsige says, the food-energy-water nexus is central to sustainable development. The inextricable linkages between these critical domains require a suitably integrated approach to ensuring water and food security, sustainable agriculture, and energy production. However, the analysis of one resource sector is sufficiently complex, suggesting that integrating multiple resource sectors simultaneously poses an appreciable challenge. That is also cited by Deloe and Patterson, 2017.